Ever pondered over the possibility of time travel? Have you ever wished to go back and correct a past mistake or fast forward to see the future? Well, it's a tantalizing thought, isn't it? The idea of hopping into a time machine and rewriting history or peeping into the future is a concept that has fascinated us for generations. But here's the conundrum. What if by changing something in the past, we end up altering the present or the future in unimaginable ways? This is often referred to as the butterfly effect, a concept suggesting that a minute localized change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. So if we change a single decision from our past, the ripple effects could drastically reshape our present and future. Interestingly, the concept of time travel is not alien to religious texts, including the Quran. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, presents a unique perspective on time travel and its possibilities. This sacred text contains verses that hint the nature of time and our relation to it. It suggests a unidirectional flow, always moving forward, never backward. Let's delve into two Quranic examples that elucidate this concept. First, we have verse 259 from the second chapter. Here, a man is made to die by Allah and then is brought back to life after 100 years. On waking, the man feels as if he's only rested for a day or part of a day. However, Allah informs him that a century has indeed passed. This verse is often interpreted as an instance of forward time travel, where the man moves 100 years into the future in what feels like a blink of an eye. Our second example comes from the 27th chapter, verses 38 to 42. Here, we find King Solomon asking his court who could bring him the throne of the Queen of Sheba. A knowledgeable individual claims he can do it in less than the blink of an eye, and lo and behold, the throne is instantly before Solomon. This narrative suggests that physical objects, not just human consciousness, can be transported forward in time. However, it's important to note that the Quran does not endorse the idea of traveling back in time. In fact, it seems to actively discourage it. This may be due to the paradoxical implications of altering past events, which could lead to inconsistencies in the flow of time and the course of history. In essence, the Quran posits that time is a divine creation that moves in a forward direction. While it allows for the possibility of accelerating forward into the future, it firmly shuts the door on any attempts to rewind the clock and revisit the past. While the Quran doesn't support the concept of traveling back in time, it does seem to suggest the feasibility of moving forward in time. So what does all this mean for our understanding of time travel? Well, we've ventured through the fascinating conundrum of time travel, exploring how the laws of physics, as we understand them today, intersect with the perspective offered in the Quran. We've seen that the Quran acknowledges the possibility of moving forward in time, as illustrated through the example of the man who slept for 100 years. Yet the idea of journeying to the past remains elusive. As we've discussed, changing even the smallest detail in our past could drastically alter our present and future. This is a principle that stays consistent with the governing law established by Allah, that time moves forward. In essence, the Quran and modern physics seem to agree on one thing: time's arrow points in one direction, forward. While the fantasies of time travel captivate our imagination, it seems that for now, at least according to the Quran, we can only move forward in time. But who knows what future scientific discoveries might reveal.